Persperity. In the shadows we find our light. Through the struggles we'll take flight. Healing hearts and mending minds. Together we'll leave the past behind. Welcome to Persperity Podcast, where hope is found. Voices rising up, breaking new ground. With every story shared, we grow and learn. In this journey of healing, it's our turn. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Oh yeah, mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Trauma whispers, but love will shout. In this space of trust, there's no doubt. We'll explore the depths of pain and grace, finding strength in every embrace. Welcome to Prosperity Podcast, where hope is found. Voices rising up, breaking new ground. With every story shared, we grow and learn. In this journey of healing, it's our turn. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Take a breath and join the ride. Together we'll walk side by side with open hearts and open minds. In this podcast space, true peace we'll find. Welcome to Prosperity Podcast, where hope is found. Voices rising up, breaking new ground. With every story shared, we grow and learn. In this journey of healing, it's our turn. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Mindful moments equal prosperous lives. Persperity Podcast, a safe space for people healing from trauma. Persperity Podcast, a safe space for people healing from trauma. Persperity Podcast, a safe space for people healing from trauma.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I know tonight we had a special guest. Some things happened, and she is going to be postponed to the 21st. So we're going to continue on, and we got a special guest here tonight, Miss Michelle Whitley Smith. We are not related. Just coincidental, we got the same last name, and we got a familiar face, Miss Carlene Carter. And tonight we're going to be talking about personal growth and self-improvement. But also we're going to dive deep into the realms of personal growth, self-improvement, and I'm your host Destiny. And joining us, we have these two special ladies, and together we're going to explore the transformative strategies, share inspiring stories, and uncover practical tips that can help you elevate your life to new heights. Get ready to embark on a journey of self discovery and empowerment as we discuss the tools you need to thrive in your personal and professional life. Let's get started. You have the floor, Miss Smith, just to, tell about yourself, your business if you own one.
My name is Michelle Whitley Smith, and I have been a massage therapist for 30 plus years. So I have a lot of skin in the game. But what brought me to massage therapy was my own personal health journey. So when I was losing my own life to bad diseases from poor choices in eating, I was going down the tubes pretty fast. And the doctors got my attention when they told me that I had 6 weeks to live. And I was like, oh, okay. So I was willing to change a lot of things and do whatever it took to hold on to my health. And so that drove me to my passion about why I want to inspire others so that they can make better choices and be on this course of self improvement.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you for being a guest today, and thank you for coming on last minute. God always makes a way for everything. I'm so excited for you to share. And Miss Carlene, go ahead and give your spew. Shout out your podcast. Oh, you froze up. Go ahead. Oh, we can hear you.
Okay, you're going in and out on me, baby girl.
Is it me? Oh, you're
Okay. What'd you
Miss.
say
Am I clear to you?
now? Say that again.
You're clear.
Yeah, it's your internet, Miss Carlene.
I hear you every other word.
Oh, it's your internet. So I'm saying, like, you can give a shout out about yourself, your business, just people to tune
I'm
in.
good.
Okay, all right. Well, she got a podcast episode coming up. Her second podcast episode coming up this Sunday. Serenity podcast. So check that out. That is in partnership with Persperity podcast, and go run up them subscribers. I mean, them subscribe, run it up. Okay, so are you ladies ready to get into some questions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, what inspired you, Miss Smith, to focus on, aside from what you were sharing, the personal growth and self improvement? Like, was it something? When I say what inspired you, like the motivation behind that?
Well, I was raised by a single parent, and she always had a lot of determination. So whenever things would get rough, she would get tougher. And so basically, she's my inspiration. She's my role model. She's my hero. She's my everything. And she taught us grit. And one thing that we didn't have a lot of money growing up, but we had a lot of love. And one thing she taught us was good core values, work ethic, and good morals. And so that's always stuck with me. And anytime that something happens, she's always taught us to be up to the challenge and to rise not to the challenge, but to rise above the challenge.
I love that. I love that. Yes, right. Right. Say that again. Rise
You
to.
don't rise to the challenge, you rise above the challenge.
I'm gonna quote you in the description.
Okay.
The podcast episodes. I like that. I love that. Yes. Transitioning, Miss Carlene, like what inspired you to for self improvement and the self improvement and your personal growth?
Well, growing up, you always, I've always been a big dreamer. So growing up, we grew up. When I grew up, I didn't know we were poor until after I grew up. Then I figured out, we were poor. But I always wanted to go above and beyond where I was. And so I've always planned, set goals, and then worked those plans to reach the goals that I wanted to reach. And I tried to instill those same things in my children. And I always told them to go further than what I did. I said, so if I'm able to create a world that you guys think, Mama don't have any problems. Yeah, we talked about those problems, but I always told them to reach higher than what I did. Always go further. So for me, personal growth is always setting goals. And then I put myself around people who are doing better than me that can lift me up and stay positive. Because I will
Wow.
get away quickly from anything because you can't grow when you're around negative people. And so Michelle and I just happen to be good. We met years ago and I can talk to her, and she's going to keep it positive, keep it real. And I do the same thing with her.
You keep it 1,000% real too, huh, Miss Smith? She got to look. She got a lot of friends, and they keep it a thousand.
Yeah, you got to keep it real because if you ain't true to yourself, you can't be true to anyone else.
Agreed. Agreed. I agree with that 100%. And I'm learning that. I'm learning that even in the self improvement journey for myself is that despite what it may look like on the outside, your outside has to match your inside, and it has to be a balance there. And you don't let people try to determine what self improvement looks like to you, because people will try to
Correct.
tell you things and mold you into what they feel like you should be, and they have no idea that hey, I'm my own individual person, and I'm not a robot. You
Right.
can't program me to do things like that. So I'm learning that, and I'm learning how to balance that, and just as well as like embracing personal growth as I continue to grow and have a birthday tomorrow. So shout out to me. I'm getting 1 year older, so
Yes.
just embracing that. As you get older, you just sit back, reflect on your own personal growth. So I'm learning that. But next question: can you share a pivotal moment in your journey that significantly impacted your mental health, Miss Smith?
You're fading in and out, Destiny. Now I can't hear very well.
I said that. Can you share a
I
pivotal
didn't hear
moment?
the question because the internet's fading in and out.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me clearly now?
Now I can.
Okay. I said, can you share a pivotal moment in your journey that significantly impacted your mental health? Hello?
Question faded in and out. Can I share what?
Can you share a pivotal moment?
The question faded out. Can you? What do you want me to share?
Oh, I said, can you share a pivotal moment in your
Oh,
journey
pivotal moment. Yes,
that significantly
yes. The
impacted?
pivotal moment was a pivotal moment. The doctor walked in and said that I had 6 weeks to live. That turned my whole life around right there, because if I didn't do something then, I knew time was not on my side. So that was a turning point for me to go inside of me and remember all the strength that my mom had taught me, and to get up and do the job. And the job was to take control of my health, do my own research, get some resources that technically weren't truly weren't available, and they weren't accessible. So I had to do things that I normally wouldn't do. Like, I've never asked anybody for anything. So this was a time in my life where it humbled me, because the only options that they were giving me were medical options, and that's not a route that I wanted to take. They couldn't guarantee that the surgery was going to be successful. The drugs were already failing, and everything was stacked against me. So this pivotal moment came when I'm like, okay, my back has got to use your brain, no matter how sick you are. You got to pull through. You got to do some research, and you got to go to the health food store. You got to ask your family for support. You got to ask your friends for support. You have to pull on every resource that you have at your disposal right now, and then later on worry about how you're going to pay them back if you live through this situation.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. And glory be to God that you're here. And I don't know if you're a praying woman, but God be the glory. Just God be the glory for sure, for sure. Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing. Miss Carlin, do you have a pivotal moment?
Yes. My pivotal moment where I had to really think about myself, my mental well-being, as well as my health well-being, is one day I was praying, and God spoke to me and said, "If you don't leave Kansas City, you're gonna die in a year." And with small children, you know, I think my son was, and my daughter was 13 years old. And I know there was no way I was ready to leave those children. I wasn't doing it. And so that's when I had to listen to what the Holy Spirit was saying. And then I put a plan together to leave. I asked God, where should I go? And he told me, wherever you go, you just need to get out of Kansas City. So we ended up in San Antonio. And that was the best move I ever made, because I was able to get mental clarity. I was able to hear from God. Then I was in an environment that was thriving and around people that were positive and positive things. So that helped like reset mindset. And with the mind, when you reset it, you got to reset the body too.
True. True.
So that was a pivotal moment for me. And that's what got me to where I am now.
Yeah. I know you shared with me at some instances of just overcoming a lot of like things health wise, and to God be the glory, being here um, in the now to be able to share those testimonies and be a true testament of faith in trusting in God. And that is inspirational, on many levels.
Hmm.
So I'm grateful for you being on this podcast. You helping me make things happen. Um, just in general, again, we don't look like what we've gone through. We definitely don't. I don't know about you, but you slaying makeup, lipstick. She's slaying, dog. Slaying. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you. And so, ladies, how do you define
No problem.
self improvement, and what does it mean?
So, just like the word says, self, So that's the focal point. Improvement. So when I think of self improvement, I think of all areas of my life from head to toe. So I want to start with my mindset. I want to get my mind right. I want my skin to be clear. I want to listen to the things that are going to add to me instead of detract from me. I want my heart to be pure. I want my body to be banging. And I want my surroundings to lift me up. So I'm like Carlene, I run from drama. But when you think about self improvement, everything that you go goes into your brain, it starts there, and everything that you put into your mouth, it either contributes to your health or it detracts from your health. So if you're really trying to improve yourself, you can't go on all these self improvement journeys for short term. It's this you have to be in it for the long term, and you have to realize that everything that you put into your mouth that's dead, it doesn't serve you. It's just trash, and it brings your energy levels down, and it brings your core energy down. So the more live foods that you can eat, the more live music that you can listen to, the more live communication that you have versus text and like getting behind the scenes and hiding
Mhm.
everything that is alive, it makes you live. So when you want to improve yourself, you want to level up and get,
Right.
surround yourself with positive vibes and everything that's living.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
True. True. I need to work on the,
Yeah. Yeah.
the
And
eating healthy part of
I
the
can help you with
vegetables
that.
or not.
Oh, we got solutions for you.
Oh, you're a health coach too.
yeah, you do. And you know what? Yeah, she is. One thing I love about Michelle is I met her. I don't know how many years because I watched her kids grow up and they grown now, college, doing their own thing. So I don't know how many years ago that was. But however, I found out that she was a health coach. And one thing, I love positive people. If I walk in somewhere, for example, and let's say you want to go in and get a massage somewhere, if that
Mm,
person is not positive, they cannot touch me. And so
mm,
Michelle gives me my massages. Sometimes I need deep tissue. Sometimes I just need to, I'd be like Michelle because she's got positive energy. And so people don't realize when you're around, have you ever noticed? And I know everybody has noticed this. You can be in a room, everybody's laughing, having a good time, y'all vibing and talking. One negative person walk in that room and suck out the whole room with their negativity. Everybody in that room is
wow.
tired. So when you think about something, you got to think about the people that you're around and who's putting their hands on you. When I go get my hair done, if a negative person touch me, that's in anything. I don't care if it's the doctor. I don't care if it's to get your hair done, your nails done. If you negative, you're not servicing me. Now you can call me uppity or what you want to call me. I don't care because of that negative energy. And I also don't need them negative spirits on you, on me. Now I gotta go and fight them. No, we're not doing that. I don't do that at all. So when you talk about self-improvement, like Michelle said, it's the whole gamut. It just ain't, well, I'm just gonna eat right and I'm gonna exercise. It's more to it than that. You got to know what you're putting into your body. Michelle knows I don't like medicine. I will call her, the doctor tried to give me metformin, girl, I'm not taking that, what can I do? And so she's a wellness coach. She uses all natural products from doTERRA. So I'm like, okay, what can I do? Which oil go with this oil or this here? What do I need to do? And so she will tell me exactly what I need to do, and I'll be like, okay, you got to text that, right? So she'll text it to me, get what I need from her to be 62 years old. I feel great. Y'all don't let a 30 or 40 something year old to the ground because you got to take care of the total body.
Wow. Wow.
So, Destiny,
So
something else I want
hey,
to
I'm
do.
lit. I'm telling you, anybody that wants to get their body right, call Michelle. She'll get you together. Now you might not want to hear what she got to say and the stuff she's gonna tell you to do. But I tell you what, if you do it, you will feel better.
Okay.
You're going to want to hear it because if you're really all about self improvement, then sometimes it's the hard things that you have to do. But the good thing about me, is I'm very workable. I meet people where they are. We set reasonable, doable goals because I know that if you can only walk a quarter of a mile and I asked you to walk 5 miles, I've lost you. So we have to meet you where you are. If you're eating processed food all day, junk food, fried foods, ice cream at night, potato chips, I'm not going to put you on a strict fast or a vegan diet. That's not going to be beneficial for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one step at a time. And those little steps and those positive habits stacking things, they add up. But one thing I do want to say, we talk about stuff that's we put in our minds and stuff that we put in our mouth. But
Mhm.
what we don't realize is that the chemicals that we put on our skin, the stuff that we put in our hair, like
Yeah.
brushing your teeth with toxic toothpaste, putting on makeup that clogs your skin, which is your largest breathing organ. Your skin secretes more oxygen for you than even your lungs. We don't realize that putting toxic deodorant is causing some of this breast cancer. And then we do body care products all day, those toxic. So, and then another thing that we do a lot is I'll go to somebody's house and I'm almost choking. They have Glade plugins, they have air fresheners, they have all this stuff. And that's not just terrible for your skin, but it actually disrupts your entire endocrine hormonal system. I have taken out Glade air fresheners from several people's house that I'm working with, and all of a sudden, tumors start shrinking, moods start improving, people start sleeping, skin starts clearing up. And if you look on the bottom of it tells you that it's toxic and that it has ingredients that are harmful and that cause cancer. We have to read, y'all. We need to read these labels. We need to stop breathing in these chemicals because just by getting rid of like Glade air fresheners and plugins alone, it alone can fix your PMS, your cramps, and all your hormonal problems. Just that alone. So just be aware of reading labels, and it's not just what's in you, it's what's on you and around you. So look at your skincare products and try to get something healthy. We have a lot of healthy options. We have stuff for, old people, young people, all people. We have stuff that's safe enough for pregnant people, people that's any age. We can put a protocol together for you. And the beautiful thing about it is we can work with your budget. Everything doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg just because it's healthier. A lot of times when people think it's something healthy, they think, oh my God, it's going to cost so much. But what's really costing is the price that you're paying to deteriorate your health. People will tell me, "Oh, I'm not going to buy your vitamins or I'm not going to buy your supplements, but they cost too much." But does it really cost too much, or is that Starbucks and the McDonald's? Is that's what's really costing you? Because doing that every day, that's detracting from your health. If you can spend $7 to $10 at Starbucks or Smoothie King or those places, surely you can spend $2 or $3 a day to up level your health and be here for a long time because you don't want to just exist. You want to have a quality of life. So, but please stop with the air fresheners and the plugins and all that. If you don't do nothing else, stop with that. And if you have any hyperactive kids or kids that are ADD, check their toothpaste and call me for some fluoride-free toothpaste. And if you read on the back of your toothpaste, it already says, if you swallow this, call the Poison Control Center.
Mhm.
Which kid or adult doesn't swallow toothpaste? And even if it's in micro amounts, that micro dosing, those toxins are cumulative. You can't get them out of your system just with water. So that's why it has a label on there to call the Poison Control Center. That's their way of covering them for code. Like, okay, we know that it's deadly and it's toxic, but we at least we told you and you chose to do it anyway.
Yeah. That's some great information. I'm sitting here thinking about all the different things that I have, even the lip gloss that I use. Because I
Mm-hmm.
don't use makeup, but I do. I start lip gloss. But other than that, like wow. And I have sensitive skin.
Mm-hmm.
I found that my hands break out every now and then, depending on the soaps. And then I can use the same soap after my skin clears up, and then I won't have a rash. So I get so confused on why that is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like I have dry skin eczema on my hands, but again, it acts up at different times.
Well, eczema is really not an external condition. External is a microbiome condition. So what that means is we need to get the microbiome in your gut and in your body cleaned up, and then your skin can thrive again. So, but also do Zyto scans, which read your biomarkers and your frequencies. So sometimes people don't want to go get a blood draw or they don't want to go to the test doctor to get like certain really invasive tests. but the
Yes.
test that I do is a Zyto scan. So you basically place your hand on a scanner, and the technique that is used, the technology, I'm sorry, is galvanic skin response, and
Mm.
it just gives a track of all your macros, looks at your heart health, looks at your sleep, your mental conditions. It examines every organ, your energy, and it'll give you a protocol to balance your body. So yeah.
Wow. So are you just fully cash, or do you take insurance as well?
I don't take insurance at this time because in America, Big Pharma gets all the money. They don't want to pay for natural health care, which I'm okay with that because the kind of clients that I'm looking for are willing to invest in themselves anyway. So, but there's nobody that I wouldn't be willing to help. But my goal is to educate as many people as I can and like in each community. So I offer people who say they want products but can't afford them. I'm like, well, then host a class, have some of your friends to purchase something. And if they purchase something, you can get free products. So
Mm.
when you work with me, there's no way that you don't get something if you really want it, because we will make a way. If people are really interested in their health, we'll make a way because I made a way for myself. And I remember when I had to ask people for things that I didn't want to, they gave me a hand, and I made a commitment that I would always give back. And I will take that commitment from here into eternity.
And you're located here in Kansas City.
Yep, I'm north of the river, but I really like to teach classes. I like to teach families. I like to teach couples. I like to teach anybody that's willing to learn. So we can do something for kids. And please start these kids while they're young. We have a whole kids kit. I have a whole kids class that I
Right.
teach. If we can get rid of our kids, then it's going to change the way they live and the way they think. You're not going to have people sick all the time. It's not going to be an emergency room with your kid. They're not going to
Right.
get allergies because their
Right.
immune system is going to be so strong that they'll be able to resist stuff.
Mhm. You got a comment
Mm-hmm.
here. It
Mm-hmm.
says, "Wow, I may need to connect with you, Michelle."
I'd be happy to connect with you. Let me give you my information. The easiest way to get me is through phone, and you can text me or call me. It's 816-405-4175, and I'd be happy to set up an appointment. But let me tell you this because I'm really passionate about not just hearing it from somebody that local, because sometimes people really have to hear stuff from medical doctors, right?
Mhm.
So I'm going to bring one of doTERRA's medical doctors. He's the vice president of education. He's coming to Kansas City for me to do a workshop May 9th. It's a Friday evening after people get off work, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30. And I'll give you the information that you can share with the crowd. But yes, 6:30 to 8:30. So message me and text me, and you'll get to ask, hear the basic foundational wellness, because what you want to always do is build a foundation. So Dr. Riggs is going to be here, and then we're going to be teaching how to get foundational wellness for a budget on a budget that you can afford.
Okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Hey, y'all, we get in some consultations and some plugging into some stuff today, and it is nothing like getting that from a educated black woman. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
always about race,
Yeah.
but I love seeing us thrive,
Hmm.
and that's amazing. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I know I'm going to reach out because there's some things I definitely need to change my body. I would like to get my vision back to the way it was a couple years ago, but I don't know. Some people say that you could do that with certain balance, with a balance.
Yeah.
But I would like to, as well as like, get my levels correct, like because I suffer from anxiety sometimes.
Mm.
So
Oh, we
it
got some stuff for you.
is. Oh, Rashana Freeman said, "Could you please repeat your number?"
Yes, ma'am. It's 816-405-4175. Will this show up if I put something in the chat?
If you let me actually put this up. Let me do it. It'll do it on my end. It will, but it says chat. We have a private chat. So
Oh,
you said
okay.
16.
405-4175. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there we go. I put it in the chat for you, Miss Freeman, which is also my mom. um,
I'm looking forward to meeting her.
yes, she I know she about to talk my ear off as soon as I get off the podcast. Like, I gotta get in contact with her. We gotta get right. We gotta get connected because
And I
she's been.
really hope that y'all can come out to hear Dr. Riggs because it's one thing to hear it from me. I'm a lay person, massage therapist, biomagnetic adjustment therapist, I do all the natural therapies. But sometimes people just really want to hear something from a real medical doctor. And he's been in the game for 30 plus years. So even though he's a medical doctor, you'll hear his whole story. But he came to doTERRA because he had a son that he couldn't get well with drugs. And so he needed oils to get his son well. So that's how he even was willing to look at it.
And I'm looking at that May 9th Friday, and that's
Thank you.
for sure, for sure. We have our mother daughter time. There may be a mother daughter time that we
Yeah,
spend.
and I think actually that's Mother's Day weekend. So if people would bring their mothers to do something like just for, even if you don't stay the whole 2 hours, even if you would just immerse your mother into wellness so that you can hang on to her, it's nothing like having your mother.
I'm sorry, Miss Carlin, you went outside, you came back, your glasses. You even came back in here in the matrix.
That's Carlene. That sounds like Carlene. She's the Matrix.
You gave it there like, all right, y'all. I'm like, she too cool. What's that old school thing y'all say? Too cool for school. Oh, you breaking up.
No, I looked, I said, oh my God, no, no.
Oh, you breaking up. It break up every now and then.
Yeah,
Can you hear me, Miss Smith? Yeah,
I can hear you just fine.
okay. It break up sometimes because I barely heard what you said. I barely heard what you said, Miss
I
Carlin.
actually had to leave one room and go to another room. But the room that I was in, my massage room and my treatment room, I don't have a good signal in there on purpose because I don't want people to get good reception in there. So I keep that over there on purpose by design so that they can relax.
Are you running Mother's Day specials? Are you doing something for mothers, if for massages and stuff like that?
I hadn't created a special, but I probably will be by the middle of the month.
Okay.
And every day I take care of mothers. So every day is Mother's Day to me because I was raised by a single parent. So we don't have to wait for a special time of the year to honor our mothers. I mean, I know people do only do it once a year, but in my world, that's a daily thing.
Okay.
I try to make sure that my kids know that, like, I'm your mom every day, not just in the middle of May. So, yeah. But I
Okay.
also want to make sure that everybody knows that if they come to me and they need they need what they can get. They can't get what they need. That we have sample packages and we can make smaller packages until you're able to do what you need to do. The most important thing is to start somewhere and to be determined to get a support group. And with the DoTerra community, we have every doctor you ever want. We have oncologists. We even have doctors for your dogs. We have a certified veterinarian program that you can go through. We have pediatricians. We have oncologists. We have internists. Any type of specialist that you need to transition from medical to natural. But
Mhm.
it's not, I'm just going to put this out there. Everything is not about all natural. Sometimes you need a medication. So it's not that I'm anti medicine, it's just that I'm pro nature. But if nature can't do the job, then we complement things. We don't make choices, and it's not all or one or all or none. You have to be reasonable and practical according to what your body's going to do. So you just be like this show is, just keep it real, keep it 100%, and be realistic with yourself and be realistic with your goals. Give
Yes.
yourself some grace and know that you got to start somewhere.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all heard what she said. Y'all heard what she said. If we don't keep our health right, our mental health and everything is not going to line up. And you were saying something about children that have ADHD or ADD, that there's certain things that such as the Glade or the plugins in the sense that are messing with those. They're I would say they're balanced, the chemicals in their mind. So I believe that you can balance a chemical imbalance. That's what I
You
believe.
can.
So basically, what you're saying is, hey, remove that, and you can balance that back. Because most doctors, I it concerns me that a lot of people attach themselves to the diagnosis of what they have, especially in
Mm.
the mental health field, because that's not what you are. That's an educated guess, and that's what the psychology field is based off of some philosophers and people that make educated guesses. based off of what you're diagnosed with, opposed to what the realistic thing may be. That's why they consistently, got to do study you to see how, what the basis of it may be. But over time, I believe that as we heal, we develop, healing, properties in our mind and our body,
Mhm.
where we're not subjected to being sick. Because they say that people have gone through trauma, and by the time they hit their 30s and 40s, they have weak immune systems because they have been subjected to trauma for so long that they're subjected to heart disease, high blood pressure, passing the dying early, just having menopause early if you're a woman. I don't know
Mhm.
if you've heard those things. I learned it in abnormal psychology that people
But
with
those things can be true, but they can be changed. So people can be subject to trauma, but they don't have to carry that trauma forever. And most people in this area haven't heard of biomagnetic adjustment, but with the magnets, you drain and erase the memory of the trauma. With core synchronism, you resync the brain, so you drain and erase that memory. And you don't everything doesn't have to be painful. You don't have to bring everything back up and relive everything. You just go to a safe place and get your brain worked on and get your heart worked on and get a magnet treatment, and you can eliminate a lot of that stuff. So also with trauma is stored in negative tissue. If you keep making your tissue negative, you're going to keep repressing that trauma. If you get clean tissue and give yourself a fresh start, you're going to have a much better outcome. Also, like most people don't realize, and I didn't realize this until recently, the new disability is mental illness. That's the most, uh, that's the highest disability right now is mental illness. And what most of us are not aware of is that if we clean out our gut and get our microbiome balanced, then those mental issues become minor issues. They no longer rule your life. They no longer keep you awake every night. They no longer have you lashing out at everybody. So everything has to do with microbiome, and we have more microbiome cells in our body than we do human cells, which is really interesting to me. So that shows you just what a powerhouse the microbiome can be.
you speaking my language. I
And
study
people think of gut microbiome. They don't realize that we have microbiome in our eyes, for our eye tissue, for our brains, and our vaginal areas. Like we have microbiome everywhere in our body because literally we do have more microbiome cells than we have human cells. And it's just amazing when you start looking into that and studying it. So and doTERRA has a product that, like, they have one product for total body microbiome. Nobody else has that. Everybody else has gut microbiome, and that's great. But a gut is only a small portion of everything else. You still got the whole rest of your body. I'm not knocking the people that have only a prebiotic or a probiotic, but I mean, we got the bank. We got prebiotics, probiotics, postbiotics, and macrophages, like all in one product that's affordable. So, I mean, and it's a game changer. It's a life changer.
it is like you remind me of like in my psychology class that I was taking, well, histories and systems of psychology, and I had to do a presentation on. We had to pick somebody, and I picked the person that was over the department of psychology.
Mm-mm.
He did a study of melanin, and he found that melanin was actually found in our eye. And the black people have the highest amount of melanin, but everybody has melanin. And the amount of melanin that we have in our body can actually somewhat, it could be something that shows that the cures that somebody may have in their body,
Mhm.
opposed to a person that may not have a high level amount in their eye or whatever in their whatever part of their bodies and stuff like that. It's
Mhm.
just the scientific analysis that he went through regarding like this, like regarding all of that, had a lot to do with his his belief in care for African centered psychology.
Mm.
So yeah,
That's deep.
I'm gonna nerd out on that, but that right there,
Yeah, that's deep right there.
I was like, I love learning what I learned. I was nervous about it, especially when you're presenting on somebody that
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows. But I knocked that presentation out of the park. It was to the point my teacher was like, I don't think you're gonna do good. You always got that one professor, but I was determined, and I did that. But even more so, I learned about the melanin. But what you're speaking of, I learned a little bit about that, but you're educating me because I anything that has to do with the body that aligns with mental health and any of those things is what I desire to learn more about. Because with my degree in cyber psychology, I want to be able to have an understanding of implementing things for people that have gone through trauma from a VR perspective.
Mm.
So you got to have alignment with.
That's the real thing too, because those images and the lights and the flashes and the object, people who design that, the virtual reality, they know exactly how the brain works. They study the brain to make their games and their apps and everything the very most effective, the most captivating.
Yeah.
So
Yes. I mean, people just don't know the stuff that's about to come, the things that I'm really just like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna talk much about it because hey, um, nobody about to take my idea. And if they, even if they try, it's look, when it's not yours, it don't work as much as it should when it's pointed to what to somebody that's supposed to. When God give you a gift or something and you're supposed to do it, it's going to thrive. It's going to go as far as it's supposed to go. So I'm very big on that. And obviously everything you've gone through in placing in coming to a point where you're giving back. Most people don't give back. Most people don't want to educate others. They just want to keep all of that to themselves.
and that's a problem.
Yeah, so I applaud you for that because you went and educated yourself as well. You didn't just be like, okay, I'm gonna educate myself on this. You went further after that and continue to learn how to pour into yourself and pour into other people. That's a balance.
Well, the thing about pouring into yourself and taking care of yourself, when you are like a real human, you have a moral obligation to pour into other people too. It's not just all about you. You really have that moral obligation. But I want to address something that you said, because even if somebody used part of your idea, everything that you have, Destiny, is unique to you. So even with me, like doTERRA, we're the number one essential oil company in the world. You can go get doTERRA on any corner or from anybody, but you can't get what I bring. I educate my people and I build relationships. So even if you get another product, the product education that I bring and the care that I pour into you and the research that we do and the personal journeys and the community that we have, it's not just about a product. And I don't sell products. I sell outcomes and solutions. Go buy your doTERRA product from somebody if that's what you want. But when you want some solutions and you want some outcomes and you want your life change,
Mm,
that's the people I'm looking for, not just product purchasers.
right.
I'm not interested in somebody who only wants to purchase a product. I want to know, do you want your life? I'm selling outcomes and solutions. So
Outcome,
nobody has what I have.
outcome and solutions. You, look, put that on the quote yourself on there. When you say that, quote yourself. Put that on your when you're doing your flyers or whatever you're doing. You go get that photo. Outcomes and solutions.
Outcomes and solutions.
So outcomes and solutions.
So
Wow. Own that. Own that.
yeah, because anybody can buy a product, right?
Hmm.
I'll tell you, like I love going to barbershops because black men don't get the care that they need. So I was in a barbershop and I had done deep blue. I got all the barbers, everybody in there was, when I left, they was out of pain. So they wanted to buy some products, which was fine. And one barber said, well, I looked this up on Amazon and I can get it for $2 cheaper. And I said, please go get it for $2 cheaper on Amazon. Take your business to them. So he ordered it on Amazon. I went back the following week to follow up with my other barbers, the real ones. He said to me, that stuff that I got off Amazon don't work like what you gave me. I'm like, because it's not what I gave you. They borrowed part of the label, they cheated on the ingredients, they watered it down, and you purchased it. But that's who you want to deal with, so I'm not dealing with you anymore. So he begged and pleaded me to sell him some deep blue. I finally broke down and I did, but I wanted him to learn something from that experience. When I take my time to teach you and to educate you and to get you out of pain, there's something that I require from you, and it's loyalty. Because I'm going to be loyal to you and I'm going to pour everything that I can into you, but you got to pour everything into yourself. That's all I ask is be loyal to and true to yourself. Don't go out and shortchange yourself for $2. The $2 that you spent trying to save money, you can't get that $2 back. You can make it back cutting hair, but guess what? Now you have all these toxins in your system that you use from that cheap, low grade product. And I don't know how you're going to get those out of your system without going on a serious 60 to 90-day detox. So the $2 that you saved, it's costing you about a minimum of $600. And I don't know if it's going to ignite any cancer cells in your body. So be careful. I know that what I sell is pure, it's potent, and it's efficacious. So I don't worry about it. And everything that I sell is money back guaranteed. You will get some solutions with me.
Hey, she up there speaking. You got the wheels turning in my head because I'm just like,
And you
this
got
is
my wheels turning because we're gonna put a get together a program for this. I'm gonna get with the some of the doctors at doTERRA that do research on the brain, and I'm gonna get you a program and a protocol for what you're trying to do that it is gonna be unstoppable. And I want you to come down here on May the 9th, and I want you to meet with Dr. Riggs. I'm gonna make some time for us to meet together. And if me and you have to fly out to Utah to talk to our directors of research, and we have clinical research going on every day, we can fly out there and we can do the doggone thing. I'm going to help you.
I I appreciate. Wow, thank you. Like, wow, I've been working on my perspective, so I thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm like nerding out right here. Like, thank you.
You know what?
There's
We need to
certain
get her out
doctors
there to
at
our.
doTERRA that
Go ahead. Which one of y'all is talking?
she was cutting off. She was talking, but her phone cut off. I
We
mean,
need
her
to get her out to
Oh,
our
internet.
event on the 10th
Miss
so people
Carlene.
talk to her.
Oh, you talking about
No,
Miss?
I saw to our event on the 10th so people see her, talk to her, and she can what she's about. She's powerful. She's powerful. That's why she's my friend. And outside of that, the doctor might tell me one, and I'm like, I got to get in. Hold on. This, because I know she's got the research behind her. She's got the products. And I frown sometimes when she tell me the prices. I'm like, oh Lord, okay, okay, okay. But I go ahead and pay her because I know I'm getting is a quality product. And then I know when I put it in my body, I feel the difference. Because I told her one time we were just talking, I said, I need some natural vitamins in this stuff. I'm tired of these people putting all these
Oh,
chemicals in this stuff. She said, do XYZ. I said, I was ready. And so she called me and I 100%. So, I think more people need to check her out.
Miss 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 Smith said she had to go get her charger. She's listed though. She had to go get her charger, but she's gonna be back on. Hold on one moment, everybody. But yes. We have
Yeah,
to
which
talk further details
looks
on
like we lost
what that
her.
entail. So even though like
Hopefully
Miss Smith, we're
she'll come
going
back
to
in.
get back to you regarding what those details are for the May 10th. Uh, yeah, you said May 10th. May 10th vendor event, and get those details to you. And we'd love to have you as a vendor. We just ironing out some details and stuff like that. So
Okay.
once you get that information, definitely we'll make sure you receive that.
Okay.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
thanks for having me on.
Yes, ma'am. And I want to honor your time. I do have one more question. It's looking ahead, what are your aspirations for continued growth in both the physical and the mental and the basically the natural?
So as far as my growth, I want to expand my own mind, but I also want to. I brought my kids into my business. My son just turned 18, and he's getting ready to start helping. My daughter's already 20, so we want to do that and expand our teaching. We want to expand to more families. We want to really get into the community because if you don't educate your community where you are, like right now, I travel a lot to teach. I'm in New York, San Antonio, Chicago, all over the place teaching, but we're gonna bring teaching home. We're going to start educating right here in Kansas City. So every week, I want to be having an event. Every month, I want to do an aroma touch event. So what aroma touch is 8 different oils in your spine that bring the body back to homeostasis. So no matter what kind of disease you have, As long as we can get your body back to homeostasis and give it the power to fight and to get well itself, it's not us that heals the body heals itself. We just give it the right tools. So that's my goal, is to be the aroma touch queen and to have events everywhere. And my ultimate goal is to have a healer in every home. So I want to be able to educate somebody in this house how to take care of the rest of the people in this house. I want everybody in the house, but as long as I can get every home, I'm good.
Okay. Same, like, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. And follow up for that, like Ms. Carlene, do you have any follow up for that question as well? Ms. Carlene? Okay. Assuming you don't have a follow up,
Mhm.
huh? Ms. Carlene?
Yeah. Michelle,
Okay.
put May 10th on your block that out. Knock out
Okay,
May
shoot me
10th.
a text. I got a class.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
So
I
in
have
that,
a class at 7 o'clock. Destiny, thank you so much. Thank you, listening audience.
No,
Thank
I
you,
was just telling
Carlene.
Michelle to
I
block out
know.
May the information. More need to hear it.
yes, ma'am. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Prosperity Podcast. We hope you enjoyed this enlightening conversation with Carlene Carter and Michelle Smith on personal growth and self improvement in the natural healing. Remember, the journey is becoming your best self. It is ongoing and every step counts. If you found value in today's discussion, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel, following me on social media at Persperity Podcast. Your support helps me continue to bring inspiring content to you. Join me next week as I have another awesome guest with an awesome testimony. Until then, keep putting your mental health first. And if you would like to contact Miss Smith, her number is 816-405-4175. Thank you so much for being a last minute gift. I'm sorry, your last minute gift for sure. Last minute guest. And I hope you enjoy your class tonight, and blessings to you, and blessings to you, Miss Carlene. Thank you all. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
In the shadows we find our light. Through the struggles we will take flight. Healing hearts and mending minds. Together we'll leave the past behind. Welcome to Prosperity Podcast, where hope is found. Voices rising up, breaking new ground. With every story shared, we grow and learn. In this journey of healing, it's our turn.
See you next week.
Mindful
We
moments
got an
deepen
amazing
while
guest.
service
Check the post.
lights.
It's gonna be amazing.
Mindful moments
Thank you, thank you,
equal
thank you, thank you,
prosperous
Miss
lives.
Carlene. Tune into Serenity
Humble words that
Podcast
love will
this
shout.
Sunday at
In this
6
space,
p.m.
the truth is
Subscribe,
no
subscribe,
doubt.
subscribe.
We'll
That is
explore the
Serenity
depths
with a
of
C.
pain and grace,
See
finding
you next
strength
week.
in